Diablo mamy za pół godziny. Ty to obejrzymy sobie ten developer update jeszcze przed... Dawaj, zobaczymy co tu jest nowego w Diablo 4.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Lord of Hatred developer update stream. We've got a jam-packed show for you today, but the first thing you saw is a limited series collaboration between Jackson Guitars and Diablo. Jackson Guitars created a guitar to celebrate the launch of the Lord of Hatred expansion, and we've got one in the studio here with us today. This thing is absolutely badass, and that song you heard performed just now, it's called Celestia. It was written by senior composer Ted Reedy and performed by Cole Rowland. And if anyone can recognize where that video was shot, it's actually our original broadcasting room, so a fun little trivia for you. But yeah, this thing is magnificent. And that song Celestia is actually from our unreleased
Zobaczcie, w ile różnych rzeczy Blizzard
Lord of Hatred
pakuje
soundtrack,
siano,
which you can pre-save
jeśli
on streaming
chodzi
platforms
o...
now. We have a jam-packed show for you today, but first things first, we have a Twitch Drops reminder. So you can watch for 30 minutes and get the
Jeśli chodzi o
Decaying Chrono
promowanie
staff.
Diablo.
And you can watch for 1 hour to get the Double Trouble Sword cosmetic on any eligible channel in the Diablo 4 category on Twitch. We've got an FAQ for you on the Deadstream Announce blog, so you can go and check that out. And that runs until 11 a.m. tomorrow, PDT, so you got about an hour to get those Twitch drops. We did release the intro cinematic for the Lord of Hatred expansion. You know us, we're Blizzard.
O co chodzi z tym Mephistem?
We love our cinematics, and this one does not disappoint. It really tees off the expansion and sets the tone for how this next chapter is going to go in Lord of Hatred. I do want to give a spoiler warning. There are some light spoilers in the cinematic, so steer clear if you want an unblemished experience, but I gotta say that cinematic is going to give you some nightmares in the best kind of way, so go and enjoy. We've got a jam-packed stream for you today. There's everything you might want to know about the Lord of Hatred expansion that we're going to get into. So we got a pretty lengthy video ready. I hope you get comfortable, get your snacks, get a drink, and enjoy.
To the Diablo developer update. With Lord of Hatred nearly upon us, we're here today to share a slate of exciting new updates. Before we dive in, we want to take a moment to thank our community for every piece of feedback, every...
Patrzcie, ej, słuchajcie, zdropiło kurwa nowe Diablo, nie? Patrzcie, Mephisto. Identycznie wygląda, identycznie.
Post, every guide and critique video, and every moment you've spent with us in Sanctuary. We wouldn't be here without you. Lord of Hatred was made for this community. Now, join us as we dive into the story, classes, core progression, and the key systems. Let's jump right in.
Jestem ciekawy, jak dużo się zmieniło,
Lord of Hatred
nie?
continues after the events in Nahantu. As we see with Neyrelle, no mortal was meant to carry the burden of a prime evil. And doing so leaves permanent scars.
Ten cinematic był świetny z
Neyrelle's journey transformed her, from her beginnings as a seeker of knowledge to bearing the Soul Stone, and now to this final confrontation with Mephisto. Neyrelle grew from someone who admired the Horadrim to one who embodied their ideals. Neyrelle's tireless research has borne fruit, and she takes action with the decisive, selfless conviction that defines any true Horadrim. Now, there's a question that generations of Horadrim have been pondering throughout their history. What is the point of killing a primeval if they always come back a generation later, after the last Horadrim have grown old, and there are none ready and able to take a stand against them? That dilemma, the cycle of the eternal conflict, sits at the heart of Neyrelle's research and pushes the story into its next phase. Knowing her time was running short, Neyrelle sent warnings to the few people she trusts, including Lorath Nar. As we march towards the reckoning, one thing becomes clear. Mephisto's plan is simple and terrifying. With the body of Akarat as a puppet, Mephisto has positioned himself and his pawns to be in the right place at the right time, and with the whole world watching. This sets the stage for our journey to the Skovos Isles and our confrontation with Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred. And it's only the beginning.
With Lord of Hatred, two new classes join the fight, the Paladin and the Warlock. They're designed to be instantly recognizable in both fantasy and moment-to-moment gameplay. New tools, new strengths, and new ways to approach every activity across Sanctuary. Both classes have been built with today's meta in mind, bringing fresh answers to familiar challenges, new build paths to explore, and new roles to master across every system Diablo 4 has to offer.
Wyglądają te skille. Fajna ciężkość tam w nich
The
jest.
Talisman system is about giving you another way to express a build. giving you more room to specialize, items to hunt for, and more reasons to keep experimenting as you climb into the endgame. You'll see talismans built from a few key parts: your seal, your charms, and the combinations you create between them.
To są
The
czarmy.
intent is simple: make the choices readable and make the results feel immediately different in combat. You'll find both seals and charms naturally
Boże,
as you
jaka
play,
pinata.
across a range of rarities. Seals are the foundation. They unlock additional charm slots, roll bonus affixes, and in some cases they can even change the rules for what charms you're allowed to equip. At the top end, unique and set charms are the most powerful. These are the drops that you'll be chasing deep into the endgame. Unique charms pull
Ej,
signature
wiecie,
powers from
ja wam
unique
całkowicie szczerze powiem, jestem trochę nahypowany na ten dodatek, na takiej zasadzie, że chciałbym, żeby on był zajebisty, że mógł sobie w tym tygodniu po prostu pofarmić w Diablo 4 kolejnego hack and slasha,
items you
nie?
know today, so that you can harness that effect without being locked into a specific
Ale no
gear set.
niestety, jak ja
You know
patrzę
today,
na te itemy, no ja tu widzę stary Diablo 3, nie?
so that you can harness that effect
Czemu kurwa Fire Res jest 630? Czemu nie mam po prostu procentowych resów w tej grze, jak w każdym normalnym hack and slashu?
without being locked into a specific gear slot. Set charms work a little differently. As you collect and equip more pieces from the same set, you'll unlock increasingly powerful set bonuses. Before Torment, set bonuses are more
Systemy
general,
na
class
czarmach
agnostic,
robią.
easy to understand, and
No jak
meant to give
prościej
you a
kurwa na tym
serious
typu
boost while
zreźnić
you're leveling.
przedmioty, przebalansować, nie?
In Torment, sets
Po
become
co?
class-specific, harder to find, and built to deliver a bold fantasy, unlocking new archetypes and defining playstyles.
Żeby Diablo 3
The
incydentu z
Horadric
tym nie
Cube is
było,
a
nie?
legendary artifact for endgame crafting. Combine rare materials, transmute them into something greater, and unlock powerful bonuses to fine-tune
Crafting.
your
Transfiguruj item. Dodaj affix. Chaos. Okej. Usuń affix. To fajne. Crafting.
build.
Coś,
More
czego mi na przykład w Diablo 2 brakuje, no nie? Że masz, wiesz, fajnego ringa, ale mu kurwa brakuje sufiksa, nie? I nie masz możliwości dodania tego.
than a tool, it opens new ways to upgrade gear, experiment with options,
Nie
and
oszukujmy
push
się, pograć 2 godziny, wyjebiesz tą grę. Stary zgiftował mi dzisiaj to Zajf, no nie? Diablo i wam mogę pokazać. Zajf mi zgiftował Diablo i napisał tak, współczuję. No ja dzisiaj do tyry, nie?
towards true endgame power. Horadric Cube crafting is deliberate and impactful. You can take an item, add affixes through transmutation, and then upgrade it through the rarity tiers, up to legendary. Want to turn a great drop into a best in slot? Transfiguration is the way to
A
ultimately
brzmi
finish
dobrze,
an item,
kurwa.
layering on a range of powerful effects with a chance you'll be able to transfigure
Jezu.
the same piece
Ej, czaisz, że w jednym miesiącu wyobrażacie sobie sytuację, że jutro wstajecie rano, oglądacie to na YouTubie, czyli wy dzisiaj to oglądacie, nie? Na YouTubie. I w tym samym miesiącu na mój kanał na przestrzeni tygodnia wpadają 2 filmy. Diablo 4 ugotowało, Blizzard ugotował, a chwilę wcześniej masz Ubisoft wreszcie dowozi. Wyobrażasz sobie na przestrzeni tygodnia takie 2 filmy u mnie na kanale? Kurwa, ja nie wiem, czy YouTube by to zniósł, tak? No, a w ogóle patrz, jak handlowanie pozytywnymi emocjami dobrze sobie radzi. Jezu, Ubisoft, 55 000 wyświetleń. Kurwa macie, chyba więcej takich materiałów muszę robić, że coś jest świetne.
multiple times. You'll also choose how you transfigure. Standard transfiguration is chaotic. The potential for reward is high, but there is some risk.
Okej, to
There's
są
even a low
krafty.
chance that you'll be able to transfigure the same piece multiple times. Applying an entropic tuning prism makes your crafting outcome more stable. This will reduce the reward ceiling, but it always delivers a clean upgrade. Perfect for items that are already incredible. For amulets,
Nieźle,
we have
nieźle.
something special. The cube has an amulet-only transfiguration that can grant you a bonus legendary power, and you can re-roll it as long as you have the rare material to pay the cost. We love the variety and craziness of adding an extra legendary power onto high-end gear, legendaries, uniques, and even mythic items. So we've distilled that fantasy into a dedicated recipe you can use specifically on your amulet. Sometimes the best way forward is sacrifice. You'll now be able to break down an ancestral unique to create a unique charm. The latest skill tree updates are here to give you clear, meaningful choices as you build, so that experimenting feels rewarding and the path from idea to fully
Czemu
realized
tego nie było
build is
wcześniej?
easier to plan.
Pierdolę, stary. 2 dodatki były potrzebne, żeby do każdego skilla, ale poprawcie mnie, jeśli się mylę, kurwa, to do każdego skilla jest jeden wybór więcej tak naprawdę. Bo wcześniej pokaż Diablo 4, talent, kalkulator. Tu wybierasz jeden z 3, się domyślam, tak na logikę. Poczekaj, jak masz build planner w Diablo, tak, no to dawałeś sobie 5 punktów, wybierałeś jeden i jeden z 2, no nie? Mogłeś wybrać. I teraz co, wybierasz 5 punktów, wybierasz jeden z 2, jeden z 2 i jeden z 3. Nadal, kurwa, działa na zasadzie plastra, no bo porównajcie to do tego. Zobacz, jak, kurwa, czasem niewiele trzeba. Masz last epocha i wybierasz skilla. Zobacz, ile tutaj jest, kurwa, wyborów, no nie? Możliwych. Czemu nie mogę, kurwa, wydać punktów? Mogę. I ile masz definiujących działanie buildu skilli na takim drzewku, a ile masz wyborów w Diablo? Jeden z 2, jeden z 2, jeden z 3, no nie? Okej, to jest coś więcej, ale no nadal to jest po 2 dodatkach naprawienie gry na zasadzie plastra, kurwa, no nie? Dziwię się, że oni jeszcze nie próbowali zaadaptować tego systemu z Last Epocha, gdzie dzięki temu, że tu masz ograniczoną liczbę skilli, którą możesz mieć użytą i to, co wrzucasz na pasek, to naprawiasz to w takiej formie, że skill A może triggerować skill B, którego ty tak naprawdę nie używasz, on używa się jakoś automatycznie, no nie? I to jest coś, co Diablo 4 by bardzo potrzebowało. Oni to próbowali przynieść na itemy, dlatego ja w ogóle muszę pośpieszyć, bo zaraz te dropi ten
Itemization
dodatek.
is the other half of the equation. With these system-wide updates, your item choices can meaningfully amplify a build, and they're designed to work in concert with everything else. Changes to legendary aspects, uniques, skill tree options, class mechanics, and more all support one goal, giving you the freedom to play your
Kurwa,
way.
bo oni
Let's look
też
at a few
źle
examples.
przekminiają na takiej zasadzie, bo oni myślą, jak to naprawić dodatkowym systemem, który się do tego dołoży, co no niestety zwiększa złożoność tego systemu, zamiast wziąć i przebudować podstawowy system. Bo oni na skille wpływają tutaj systemem skilli, systemem itemów, systemem jakimś klasowym, systemem kurwa charmów, systemem kurwa setu, systemem mechaniki ligowej. I okej, takie rzeczy się kurwa robi w hack and slashach, ale ty nie powinieneś mieć 10 systemów przypisanych do kurwa definiowania działania skilla. To najlepiej, jakbyś to zamknął w jednym albo 2 kurwa pochodnych ekosystemach, nie?
What is better than kicking your enemies away? How about kicking yourself to your enemies? Kick's Madness variant lets you fly around the battlefield by turning kick
To jest w
into a
ogóle zrobione
mobility skill.
jak kurwa dla
Barbarians now have a
40-latków
variety
w
of
kryzysie, mam
ancient skill
wrażenie.
variants
Z tą
that summon
muzą.
a temporary ancient to mimic your attack.
Też, że on tak zalatuje
Leap
taką
into combat
tanizną
with
wręcz.
3 ancients, then finish them off with a trio of ruptures. Druids can now choose their skills' shapeshift forms, and each form comes with powerful bonuses.
Okej.
Human form grants more resources, werewolf form grants more offensive power,
No to jest
while werebear form improves your
to bardzo
survivability.
prosty system tego, co jest w...
Trample's variant leaves
Last
sundered
Epochu.
rock along your path and a large burst at your target. Trample can now be used as a werewolf, and rather than charging along the ground, you quickly leap to your
Czy tam
target.
wiedziałem, że było 15
Druids
skilli
can now unleash
wrzucone?
the fury of the wilds.
Aż?
This unique ring causes your shape-shifting skills to grant berserking and ferocity, bringing these powerful mechanics from the barbarian and spiritborn to the druid. You can take it a step further by synergizing Fury of the
Yes,
Wilds
dobra.
with the
tu patrz,
additional
już jest mowa.
strikes upgrade for Lightning Storm, increasing the number of
Ej,
lightning
kurwa,
strikes
po
for each
oglądaniu poet
ferocity you
te
have.
efekty no nie grzeją.
Necromancers can now customize and upgrade their minions via the skill tree. Skeleton mages are now a core skill, costing essence to initially raise, but lasting indefinitely. Use the Singularity variant to instead focus all of your essence into a single, powerful, but short-lived mage. Skeleton warriors are passively raised from nearby corpses, and activating
Ale
the
zobacz, że
ability
przez
commands them
system,
to
co nie robią, to
instantly
na przykład
attack
nie masz
target.
możliwości tworzenia hybryd tak jak w
Book of
Diablo
the
2,
Dead
nie?
now also
Masz
enhances your
paladyna
minions
pod
with
łuk.
the powers of bone,
Tu
blood,
masz
or
bardzo
darkness,
ograniczony
allowing them to interact with a wider variety
możliwość
of
wybudowania
legendary and
postaci.
unique effects.
Tu masz postać
such as
możliwą do
Aspect of the
wybudowania
Void.
tylko na przygotowanych archetypach. I po prostu w tej grze nie ma nic więcej.
With the
To jest
Cathan's
to,
Righteous
co
Will
Poe
Talisman set bonus, your
brakiem
enemies will
przypisania
cower before
skilli
you,
do postaci
immediately being feared for a short
kurwa
time
rozbiło
when they see
bank.
you.
I to jest
You
inspirowane
also
Diablo
reflect stun
2
and knockback
i
effects
bonusami
at those
do
foolish enough
skilli
to try to
pochodzących z
control you.
przedmiotów, że ty nagle
Paladins
miałeś
can unlock ultimate
czarodziejkę
power
po
with the
kurwa
Light's
niedźwiedzia
Epiphany
z
Talisman
Ashen,
set.
nie? Z
Using
tym
the Arbiter
stylem.
of Light unleashes Heaven's Fury
Ładne te
and
efekty
Fortress
są.
and allows you to cast Zenith for a short time. Dance of Knives is now a core skill, costing energy per second to channel. If you aren't a fan of knives and want something with a bit more
Jeśli w
bang,
tej walce nie
try the
tak, to
grenade jumper
zagrać w
variant to
PoE 2
throw
już,
a
nie?
constant stream of
Widzisz tą
explosive grenades
różnicę.
instead. Rogues also have new ways to manipulate the
Znaczy mimo
shadows.
wszystko i tak
The penetrating
Diablo
shot
4 miało
variant
bardzo
Shadow
dobry
Shot
poziom visceral
spawns shades to
combatu
mimic your attack.
do momentu
Shadow
wyjścia
Clone
PoE
Sentry
2.
variant
PoE 2 to po
places
prostu
stationary
przebiło, nie?
shadow clones to constantly fire
Było dobre
upon
na
your
tle
enemies.
wiesz, Las Epoca, Diablo 2 albo PoE 1.
As the masters of fire, cold, and lightning, the sorceress weaves these elements together in their new skill variants. Charged Bolts Burn Through
Warty
variant
spas.
causes the bolts to release globs of fire on impact rather than
Kurwa,
piercing
no ta
through enemies.
kustomizacja jest
This
zajebista,
variant
to jest
excels
fajna
in
rzecz.
up-close and personal combat against many tightly packed enemies.
Ale nie, no kurwa,
Up-close
patrz
and
jak to
personal
wygląda.
combat
Porównaj to
against
stary do
many
tego
tightly
jak
packed
działa
enemies.
Molten Strike kurwa w PoE 1 nawet, nie? Porównajcie sobie to z tym kurwa. No patrz jak tu kurwa wygląda Molten Strike.
Because I have a lot of leap slam speed. My filter's
Jest
probably
PoE
not
1.
correct right now. It's probably a
Patrz
fake
ile tu
filter.
kurwa tego lata, nie?
But I pretty much have like a
A jakbym dał Molten Strike Returning Projectiles, kurwa. O, poczekaj. Pa. Stary w PoE 1 ten efekt Molten Strike'a wygląda lepiej niż w Diablo 4, nie?
Excels in up-close and personal combat
Aż boję jak się aż kurwa bolą oczy, nie?
against
Jak
many
się na to
tightly packed
patrzy.
enemies. Familiar is the only skill in the game with 4 variants. The first 3 allow you to choose which element your familiar will always be and gain unique benefits. If you want all 3 elements, the Prismatic Familiar option is for you, causing each of your spellcasts to trigger an explosion of the matching element
Ej, ale
from
jak
your
w Diablo to ja gram totalnie na wolno wam mówię, nie? Ja się nawet w ogóle tu nie
Crackling Earth
śpieszę.
converts Concussive Stomp to an Eagle skill, removing the gorilla-themed crowd control effect and instead dealing lightning damage and creating storm feathers for each enemy hit. This synergizes extremely well with Aspect of Falling Feathers to absolutely shred a group of enemies. With its new variant, the Protector guards the infected forest. The Centipede Spirit assists by poisoning the area around the Protector, weakening enemies and constantly spewing pestilent swarms.
Jezu, kurwa, na dodatek do Diablo 3 jestem w Mediamarkcie w kolejce, nie? Żeby to kupić o północy.
This master of the occult
A
binds
dzisiaj
demons
wstałem i
to their
czuję się, jakbym
will
szedł,
and
kurwa, do
unleashes
pracy za 10
devastating
minut.
hellfire across the battlefield. The Warlock has a dual resource system. Your basic skills, like Doom, generate Wrath. Your core skills, like Hell Fracture, spend Wrath to unleash a powerful attack. Dominance is much slower to regenerate and is used for your greater demon summoning abilities, like Infernal Breath that spews fire at nearby enemies. To unleash ultimate destruction, channel the Armageddon ritual
Ta, w ogóle
variant
to
of
Diablo
Apocalypse, calling down a
robi
relentless storm of fire
10%
and
ruchu,
brimstone
które
on
robiło
the
na
battlefield.
premierę, czajcie?
Endgame in Diablo 4 should feel continuous. No stopping, no waiting, no friction between what you want to do and how you want to do it. The fight to defend Sanctuary continues in our new endgame system, War Plans. Choose your favorite activities, chain them together, and then
Play the
customize
fire.
the hell out of them. You start at the command table in Temis, the capital city of Skovos. You pick your activities with almost everything on the menu. As you make progress, your command table levels up, opening up a wider range of options, including higher node rarities and deeper chains, with up to 5 activities in a single war plan. War plans also grant the ability to teleport directly to the next activity in your playlist, and eventually back to Themis to claim your rewards and create a new one. And if you don't have a nightmare sigil or a compass, not a problem. War plans can generate one on the fly if you don't have your own. War plans is all about giving you more choice. Want to burn through a stack of sigils? Do it.
Fajne.
Want to hard focus
no?
on one lair boss for your session?
Taki
Go
atlas,
for it.
nie? Mini.
War plans does more than enhance your endgame, it connects it. Completing war plans will also feed into activity trees. Each activity has its own tree that you can invest in to customize how it plays. You earn 7 points per activity, so this is where you'll have to make real decisions. Let's look at the lair boss tree, because it's a great example of how deep this can go. You can tune your rewards with nodes like Lair of Runes for more rune drops, Lair of Plenty for an extra horde chest, Golden Horde to convert low-tier items into gold, or Exotic Armory if you're looking to gear an alt. Then there's cross-pollination, pulling lair bosses into other activities to remix your runs. Grigwar's Gambit can spawn him from Helltide chests. Embers of Anguish brings Andario into the pit. Out of the Cold allows the Beast in Ice to join every Nightmare Dungeon boss fight.
Myślę, że w ogóle
The pit
zagramy
tree
dzisiaj, czy
gives you a
serwery nie
completely
wyrobią?
different kind of control. You can dial up risk and reward with Choron's Haste, Heart of Stone, the Pit Butcher, or modifiers like Damned Thieves. Or you can pivot the rewards entirely, converting glyph upgrades with nodes like Choron's Soul and Choron's Flesh. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There are 100 different modifiers spread across the activities in the game. With war plans, you get to define your own endgame. Fishing is designed as a laid-back collection activity, a chance to slow down and unwind between battles. You'll unlock it early after arriving in Skovos. A short questline will introduce you to the basics, and it'll teach you more about the wide variety of fish with different rarities and multiple modifiers to chase. Fishing is more fun with friends. You can trade any fish you find, no matter how weird, bloody, or celestial they might be, to help your fellow wanderers finish their collections. As for where you can fish, almost anywhere there are fish, and maybe even a few places that might surprise you. So take a deep breath, enjoy the calm you've earned, and appreciate a quieter moment in Sanctuary. But who knows what else lurks beneath the wine dark sea?
Jezu, będzie
When Lord of Hatred
schowany
is
za
released,
fishingiem.
we'll also be making major updates across both seasonal and eternal realms.
Bardzo wolny się wydaje ten
Permanent
paladyn.
updates across realms will include the major skill tree improvements we've discussed,
Okay.
alongside a level cap increase to 70, extending torment tiers, a loot filter, map
Zwiększenie level capa i zmuszanie wszystkich odbiorców do posiadania dodatku to jest największy k***a, jakie robi Blizzard w swoich hack and slashach. Takie gówno, to jest taki gatekeeping, bo nagle ludzie, którzy nie mają tego dodatku, nie ma żadnego sensu, żeby grali w Diablo. Ja rozumiem, że oni wypuszczają dodatek, chcą na nim zarobić, ale to by było o wiele lepsze dla graczy i dla żywotności gry, jeżeli za tym dodatkiem byłaby po prostu zgatekeepowana część fabularna, jeśli za tym dodatkiem byłaby zgatekeepowana postać, jeżeli za tym dodatkiem zgatekeepowana byłaby nawet jakaś mechanika, to no, mimo wszystko dawałoby ci poczucie trochę takiego pay to wina, że możliwość robienia jakiejś mechaniki, która może być profitowa, wymaga od ciebie posiadania dodatku, ale no w tym wypadku no po prostu ty musisz mieć dodatek, żeby w ogóle grać w tą grę na normalnym poziomie, nie?
overlay, pathfinding, plus a pit overhaul and itemization
No jest
updates.
cała gra grą
For players
usługą,
on the seasonal
ale
realm,
musisz
there will be
wykupić kurwa
character
każdą
resets,
usługę, nie?
a refresh to season.
Kurwa, jak ten
For players
paladyn
on the
wygląda?
seasonal realm, there will be character resets.
Jezu, to tak wyglądają te postacie? Chłopie, on wygląda jak z jakiegoś kurwa tureckiego teledysku, który leci w kebabie o 3 w nocy, nie?
A refresh to season rank challenges with new rewards, and updates to the tower and leaderboard beta, all falling within the Season of Reckoning. This season brings 2 additional season ranks, unlocking over 100 season rank challenges for those who keep climbing through Sanctuary's trials. Push past your limits, conquer fresh objectives, and claim
ja chcę
rewards
w to
worthy
pograć,
of your
stary.
growing legend.
No wam pewno nawet
With this update, we're here to make more affixes matter
Nawet
and
nie
make
ukrywam,
item
że
choices
chcę w to
contribute
pograć.
meaningfully
Jezu,
to
bym
your
tak chciał, że
overall
to było
power.
dobre.
Common, magic, and rare items contain
Sery,
meaningful value in
kurwa.
endgame because they can serve as crafting bases. You can later add affixes to them and upgrade their
Chciałbym
rarity
wszystko
using the
przekminiać w tym
Horadric
Diablo.
Cube. They will continue to drop in torment difficulties, including as ancestral items, and they can also roll with greater affixes. With this update, auto-salvaging of lower rarity items in torment has been disabled. Something we're excited about is damage multipliers on gear. Gone are the days of tossing out items with additive damage. Damage multipliers stack additively with themselves, but are multiplicative, vastly leveling up the item game and depth when it comes to the perfect item. For uniques, we're opening things up by reducing the number of always fixed affixes and rolling more from the available pool, giving you room to chase truly optimized.
Czemu oni kurwa dokonują zmiany, która była największym problemem Diablo 3? Oni kurwa grają w swoje gry w ogóle? Czy oni biorą unikalne przedmioty i usuwają z nich unikalne mody, żeby dać większą losowość na unikalnych przedmiotach? To jest to, co było największym problemem Diablo 3 na premierę. To jest idiotyczny kurwa pomysł. Przedmioty unikatowe nie powinny mieć randomowych afiksów. To jest bez sensu.
Combinations for your build. Tempered affixes went through an overhaul. Unique and mythic items can now be tempered. 200 legendary aspects have been refreshed with design updates. Gems are getting a major upgrade. Weapon gem effects are significantly stronger, and we're including new gem tiers. We've heard your feedback on stackable items, and we've increased the stacking size to 1,000 to help with inventory management.
Wow.
On the quality of life side, one of the biggest additions is the loot filter. This is a power user feature the community has been asking for a long time. You can export and import filters, hide item text, hide ground effects, hide both, or recolor text to make the drops that matter instantly stand out. Hunting for the perfect 4 out of 4 base, you can call out the affixes you care about and set a minimum number required. So those upgrade-ready items pop while the noise fades away. Loot filters will also support newly introduced systems such as the Talisman. The map overlay is here, and it completely changes how combat and moment-to-moment flow feels in Diablo 4. When the overlay is up, the minimap gets out of the way to broaden your view of the game space, and you've got quick controls to tune it on the fly. Keybinds for opacity, keybinds for zoom, and options to adjust the coloration of the overlay to match your preference. For those looking to continue with a smooth flow, you can enable pathfinding, which draws your route through Sanctuary directly to your destination. You'll no longer need to stare at your minimap to make sure you're headed the right way. The level cap has increased, expanding the ceiling for long-term progression. Torment tiers are being refined as well to support a consistent feel as...
Poczekaj, kurwa, w Diablo 4 masz teraz 12 poziomów Tormenta. Pamiętacie moje słowa, jak Diablo 4 wychodziło? Że oni Diablo 4 próbują łatać wszystkimi sposobami, którymi zabili Diablo 3? No, kurwa, 3 lata minęły, moje słowa zestarzały się jak wino. Nieźle, nieźle, nieźle. No, a pamiętacie, jak ludzie mówili, że no nie, no w tej grze jest problem, że są tylko 4 poziomy trudności, tu trzeba dodać 5, nie? To załata to wszystko i kurwa trzeba było stworzyć 5 podcastów na ten temat, że to w sumie nic nie zmieni, że to naprawi problem na 2 godziny gameplayu.
You progress further, and to match, the rewards track better with the risk you're taking.
We've made important improvements to layer bosses, focused on clarity, choice, and cleaner loot chasing. Every layer boss now has its own dedicated pool of unique items.
Fajny, kurwa, przeciwnik.
Layer bosses now share a single key, and all greater layer bosses share another, reducing friction and inventory space. Bartok and Astaroth are now in the layer boss system, and the Butcher is now a greater layer boss in both Seasonal and Eternal Realms. Lord Zir is now only 1 click away on the world map. We've made updates to runes to reduce friction and make progression smoother. The result is a more streamlined system and an indirect buff to farming the specific runes you care about. The rune pool has been updated and we've removed underutilized runes.
O,
All remaining runes now fit cleanly into the Socketables inventory. Runes have also been heavily integrated into our Horadric Cube crafting system.
Pit improvements are here, along with tuning and quality of life updates to make each run more exciting and more rewarding. Some of the improvements you've seen in the tower are coming to the pit, and we've also removed a few legacy systems along the way. The pit has grown, literally. Every run now spans 5 full floors, clearly marked by pit depth, so you always know how deep you've gone and how close you are to the finish. Floor generation has been rebuilt from the ground up for smoother flow, less frustrating dead ends, and a more consistent rhythm that keeps you moving forward. Nearly every environment in the game can now appear in the pit, pulling from both expansions and past seasons. And there are rare floors where you'll stumble onto brand new layout mashups found nowhere else. To keep the focus on action, we've also removed death and resurrection penalties along with boss shadow attacks. Spawning in the pit has been tuned to feel fair, deadly, and exciting. Shrines now use a flat spawn chance, giving each run a more consistent baseline, while still allowing for the occasional lucky spike. Almost every variant of every monster family can now appear, including very rare and special populations. Progress now scales with real danger, meaning tougher enemies push the bar faster. And yes, treasure goblins can now invade the pit, alone or with all their friends, with bosses, goblins, and treasure chests all capable of dropping loot. Pit mastery objectives are now fully formalized, with the tracker clearly showing both party and personal progress. Boss encounters waste no time. Bosses now ambush your party by spawning directly on top of you, and without clearing existing enemies. On top of that, the pit will now pull from the tower boss roster, injecting even more variety and unpredictability into every run. Since we introduced the tower...
Dodatek wychodzi o pierwszy, a sezon o 1:30? Czekaj, co kurwa? Ale to co, ja to mogę teraz włączyć i co z tym zrobić? Pograć sobie non-ladder w dodatku, ale nie będę miał mechanik, kurwa, ligowych? Ja nie rozumiem. To brzmi bardzo mocno bez sensu. Sezon nic nie wnosi, nie ma żadnych nowych mechanik. Czyli ja mogę zagrać teraz postacią niesezonową i tyle? A będę mógł zagrać warlockiem i przyjść fabułę już? Oho, aktualizacja. Fajną prędkością, kurwa, ściąga. To oni to chyba chcą po prostu rozłożyć, tak mi się wydaje, ten ruch. Dziwny w chuj to jest, że masz stary delay.
And leaderboards, it's been incredible to listen to your feedback, watch the competition evolve, and keep learning right alongside the community. Now we're bringing a focused set of updates, more reasons to climb, clearer ways to compete, and smoother moment-to-moment play. The Artificer's Stash is a new feature coming to the tower. This provides valuable caches that contain items with guaranteed greater affixes, along with currencies and even lore books. These treasures can only be earned by climbing the tower, and first-time completion of higher tower tiers awards the Artificer's favor. The new build viewer captures a snapshot of every build that ranks on the leaderboard. When you click a top player's leaderboard entry, the viewer displays that saved snapshot, making it easier for everyone to see which builds are performing best in tower competition. New environments, monsters, and bosses are arriving to keep the tower experience fresh. In addition to starting a tower run when you exit the circle, your run will now automatically begin after a brief countdown. And hey, did you mess up the run? Did you just barely make it? Did the orb goblin run away? Is that the best you got? The Artificer himself will now offer some commentary. Please try your best. He is watching. Lastly, we're making tower competition timing better and fairer. Based on player feedback, leaderboards now start on Thursdays after a release or patch. This permits the time needed to address any major issues before the community-wide competitive aspect of the tower begins. That's a quick look at what's ahead with Lord of Hatred and Season of Reckoning. We'll have more details in our blogs, patch notes, and deep dives. So if something here caught your eye, you'll be able to dig in right away. See you all in Sanctuary. Welcome.
Whew, okay, that is a lot to chew on. As often mentioned at the end of that video, we will have our official blog launching after the stream, so you can go and check that out if there's extra details you want.
Dobra, próbujemy to włączać, co?